A long time ago, in the 1800s, in a faraway land called India, something amazing happened. In a village in the northeast part of India, where people had never heard about Jesus, missionaries from a country called Wales came to share the good news about Jesus Christ. These missionaries faced many dangers. The people in that village followed a different religion, and they didn't want to hear about Jesus. In fact, they became angry when the missionaries talked about the cross, forgiveness, and following Jesus. But one missionary family didn't give up. They kept praying, loving, and telling the people about Jesus. After a while, something wonderful happened. One man, a villager, and his wife and 2 children decided to follow Jesus. They believed that Jesus died for their sins, and they wanted to live for him. They were the first Christians in that village. The man was so full of joy. He told his neighbors, "I have decided to follow Jesus." But not everyone was happy. The village leaders got very angry. They wanted the man to take back his words. They wanted him to say he didn't believe in Jesus anymore. They called him to the center of the village. Everyone gathered to watch. The chief said, "You must stop following Jesus. If you don't, it will hurt your family." But the man stood strong and said the words that would one day become a song. "I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back." The chief was shocked. He gave the order, and the man's 2 children were taken from him. Still, the man did not give up. He said, "Though none go with me, still I will follow." Then they took his wife. With tears in his eyes, the man looked up and said, "The world behind me, the cross before me." And then finally, the man himself was killed. He gave his life. His wife and children did too. But none of them gave up on Jesus. They died because they would not turn away from the one who had saved them. You might think that's the end of the story, but it's not. The story of that man's faith began to spread. The chief was so moved by what he saw that day, he began to think deeply. He asked, "Why would someone die for a man named Jesus?" The chief couldn't stop thinking about it. In time, he also gave his life to Jesus. The whole village began to change. Many people believed in Jesus after that. The words spoken by that man, his last words, were remembered by the missionaries. They put them into a song. The song is born. The song was first sung in India, in the native language of the village. Later, it was translated into English. It was simple. It didn't have many words, but it was full of power and truth. It said, "I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. Though none go with me, still I will follow. Though none go with me, still I will follow. Though none go with me, still I will follow. No turning back, no turning back. The world behind me, the cross before me, the world behind me, the cross before me, the world behind me, the cross before me, no turning back, no turning back." The song became popular in churches all around the world. It became an invitation song, the kind people sing when they decide to follow Jesus. Many people have sung it with tears in their eyes. Some sang it at church. Some sang it when they were baptized. Some sang it in times of fear. And some sang it in joy. This song isn't just a pretty melody. It is a testimony. It came from a man who gave his life for his Savior. It reminds us that following Jesus is not always easy. Sometimes we may feel alone. Sometimes people won't understand. But Jesus never leaves us. The song helps us say with courage, "Even if I walk alone, I'll still follow Jesus. Even if it costs me something, I'll still follow. I've made my choice. There's no turning back."